back to Kelman Explores. Today I'm going to talk about Celebrity Ascent, our most recent cruise. I'm going to do a review video about my experience, our experience. It's our first time on Celebrity Ascent, our first time on Celebrity, and our first time winning a bid upgrade through the Royal Caribbean or Celebrity Bid Up, Move Up program. We did bid up or move up on Celebrity is I believe what it's called. From a guaranteed ocean view, we bid on every category available, and I just did the minimum bid. I bid on all of them. I really wanted the Aqua Class or Sunset Aft Veranda, Sunset, something like that. We ended up getting the Infinite Veranda Concierge Class Stateroom. Concierge Class Stateroom. That is very hard for me to say. So it was a pretty good upgrade. We ended up paying about $125 per person for the upgrade, which brings our total cost for this cruise at about $2,500. Now that was before we got on board and spent money. I spent money at the casino and different things. I will say that that was a really good deal considering it's a Celebrity's newest ship. It was a veranda room or an infinite veranda room, and it was in the Concierge Class, which basically comes with extra amenities in the room and around the ship. It's pretty much the same cabin as a regular infinite veranda, but it just entitles the person or the people within it to have slightly more perks and access to the concierge team, which is a little bit less of a line, and they can basically book you for anything and resolve almost any issue that customer service or the dining room or all that other stuff can book you for. Shore excursions, they can do it all. That was pretty neat. And we did have some few issues that they resolved pretty instantaneously. One of the perks that I was really looking forward to but we missed out on was the concierge class gets an onboard lunch on embarkation day. It's a limited menu, but it's more elevated than like buffet or regular lunch. But we missed out on it. We were just like 30 minutes late. So we went to the concierge team, and then they made it right. Even though they really didn't have to, it was our fault for being a little late. They gave us a comped lunch at Le Grand Bistro, which was an a la carte place, or it can also be like you pick a menu, get an appetizer, a meal, and all that stuff, a dessert. And we opted for that side. And it was really good French cuisine. We also ate there at night, one of the other nights, and it turns into another kind of dining experience called Le Petit Chef, which is featured in my last video on this ship. Basically, it's a projection experience that projects down on the table, and it's very immersive, and it's like a storyline with Le Petit Chef, the smallest chef in the world. And while he's creating the stuff on the table, they're also creating it back behind the scenes and plating it, and it comes out pretty much as the sequences end, the actual meals that he makes. That was a really good experience. It was really fun, and it was really tasteful, which is crazy how tasteful. I thought it was going to be more of like for children, and maybe it's a little kiddie or childlike, the cartoon aspects, but there is some adult humor in it. They talk about AI taking over, which is pretty funny nowadays. But the actual food itself was some of the best food we had on the ship, and I was really impressed, especially with, it's not beef Wellington, but it's like French beef Wellington. Anyway, I'll put a little clip of it. It was really good. One of the best meals on the ship. Basically, though, every meal on the ship, I'm just rambling, but every meal on the ship was like, we were impressed. So let me just start out. I'm just going to break it down because this was just a big ramble that really kind of that's how I am. I don't really have a path when I communicate. It's just like, I'm here, then I'm there, then I'm there. But let's start at the beginning. So like I said, we won our upgrade. So we were already like really excited to get on board. It was a beautiful room. We were blown away by the Infinite Veranda. And maybe because it was a brand new room, just the room itself, the aesthetic of it, it was like form and function. It was really clean and modern. The color scheme was modern. It was really up to like my taste, even though like I really can't afford to do that in my house, which you could see I have pretty much just white walls behind me. It was just amazing, and we were really impressed with it. And forgive me if my glasses are doing glare. I did tilt them, so I tilted them down a little bit, so my eyes might be looking kind of funny. But we were blown away by the accommodations on Celebrity and Celebrity Ascent. In fact, we have more Celebrity cruises booked for this year. So we technically took this cruise last year in December, so a few weeks ago, but now it's 2024. Happy New Year, by the way. But we have at least 2 more Celebrity cruises booked this year, and they're going to be really great. I'm not going to talk about them now. As we get closer, I'm going to make bigger videos because some of them are like bucket list things, and I'm really excited about those. But we really trust the Celebrity brand now after experiencing what even the basic accommodations will get you on board as far as your dining and just the basic accommodations. The interior rooms are pretty luxurious. They're pretty much like our room was, minus the big window. They're really spacious on that board. We did peek in some. I didn't film any, but I've seen other people's videos. Even the lowest priced room on Celebrity and Celebrity Ascent basically, or specifically, were like beautiful rooms and brand new. Of course they're brand new, but like really thoughtfully laid out and big and spacious, even though they're interior. On other cruise lines and other older ships probably is the reason. We've been on interior rooms where it's pretty much like I feel like a sailor and I'm sharing barracks or rooms instead of like it's our room. It's just so tight. I did peek in them and I was pleasantly surprised what the basic accommodations would get you on board Celebrity. So that's really good. Like I give accommodations, and probably because we got upgraded, but I gave it like a 10 out of 10. Like I'm serious, 10 out of 10. There was no issues in our room. Some people on our sailing and some other sailings said they heard some creaking, but everything's brand new and tight, and it's learning, it's getting its play built into it and we had pretty rough seas and we barely felt it. I think the ship was like absorbing it. That's why we heard a little bit of cracking and different things, but it didn't bother us. It was so beautiful and so comfortable. That's another thing. It was really comfortable. Every chair in our room, which we only had like 2, I guess, but the bed, the chair, and the sofa and the veranda chairs, every one of them were really comfortable, which is bad because it makes you just want to sit in there. Speaking of chairs, I'm willing to make a bet that Celebrity Cruise Lines, at least on their new ship, that's the only one we've been on Celebrity Ascent, they have the most dynamic range of seating throughout the ship. Like everywhere you go, seats do not repeat themselves. So like in this room or this area, there'll be this seat and all of them are comfortable. All of them look really nice. All the dining rooms have multiple styled chairs and seating in them, and we were blown away. I just kept noticing new chairs, and it was like crazy. Like I wish I did a chair count, because it has to be like 100, maybe more. I'm not joking. Every place we went to had a different style of seat, like really thoughtfully curated or created, whoever made them. Like a lot of design went into that. But back to the room basically. So 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Now, I guess another thing I'll grade it on or give my review on, let's say value for the money. Now, we were apprehensive because we took this sailing because we canceled a Dubai cruise we had because we weren't comfortable going over there right now. So we just canceled. We had this time blocked off. So we went ahead and booked this one. And especially after seeing it was like a brand new ship, we're like, we got to do it. This would be perfect. We'll experience it while everybody else is for the first time. We saw the price point, and initially it was about $22.50 for the ocean guarantee room. And that's a little more than we pay. That did include gratuities. That's a little more than we would pay for an ocean view or an interior room stay on Carnival or Royal Caribbean for a 7-day. Now, we justified it because it's a brand new ship, like brand spanking new. This is probably the newest ship we've been on, or the amount of time. Like we were on pretty quickly as it debuted. I think we went on Mardi Gras and Celebration not too long. Carnival, Mardi Gras, and Celebration. Celebration specifically only a few months after it debuted. This is like 2 days later or a week later after the inaugural we went on. And we were a little apprehensive about what the money was going to get us. We loved the way the rooms looked on picture. The food looked great. We weren't sure. And so like initially we were like, I hope this is going to be good. Please let it be good. And we were blown away. Honestly, they could have charged us more now knowing what it is and what we got. I was shocked. I was shocked by the quality of the food everywhere. I will say Mass Grill, I didn't really try much there. That's like their burger, but I mean, that's like the lowest end food you'll find on the ship, and it's still good. It's like fries, burgers, hot dogs kind of thing. And they do cook them fresh. The burgers aren't like fresh meat though. I believe they're frozen patties previously shaped and stuff like that. That being said, that's the lowest quality you'll find. And honestly, on some other brands and cruise lines, that quality is what you'll find everywhere. In the buffet, maybe not the main dining room, but the buffets are like, like they're good, but they're like, they're not the best. We were blown away. The buffet, the Ocean View Cafe is the name of the buffet, I guess on all Celebrity ships, or at least on the Edge class. We were shocked. I was shocked. Like I could have just eaten in there and been fine every night, but I wanted to try every venue. And the food you get for the price is worth the price alone. The rooms could have something could have suffered and it didn't. So the value, I think it exceeds the value of what we paid. I was blown. You see where the money is going is like the phrase I've been saying. Like, I paid a little more, but I see where they're spending the money, and maybe because it's just brand new and like everything's like, okay, you know, top notch service quality, like they're still kind of in the honeymoon phase. But I don't think that's the case. I think Celebrity you pay a little more, but you get a lot more. I was just shocked. I was shocked by the food. Anyway, I could go on and on. Let's just move on. Okay, I'm gonna give 10 out of 10. Value for your money is 10 out of 10. You are gonna pay more right out the gate, but you're going to get a lot more. Also, the service, like customer service, everything, it's very much like we'll work with you, like around you. It's not like wait in line. You know, I'm blown away by it. 10 out of 10 value for your money. Let's just go right into food. Number 3, I don't know what this video is evolving into, but number 3, the food on board. Oh my God. If you watch any of my series or Nautical Wanderer series on Celebrity Ascent, the food is amazing. I didn't have anything. The only thing I will say I didn't personally care for was the duck that I had in Normandy. Nothing against the way they cooked it. It's just I'm not a fan of duck, and I was trying to try it. Trying something new. I didn't want to eat another, although I regret it now, a beef Wellington or the French version of that. And I almost got it, and I should have. But I said, I'll try duck because Brittany got that one. So I'm like, that way we'll mix it up. That's the only thing I didn't really care for, and that's just my taste. It tasted good, but it's, I just don't like duck. And even then, I ate it all. So I just felt like I had to eat this. It was really cooked richly, really French. And anyway, that's the only thing I had, and it was, again, just my taste. Other than that, the food, every time I took a bite, now there was some desserts and stuff. I'm like, well, I don't need to try that one again. It was fine, but it's not my favorite. But everything tasted good and fresh, quality ingredients. The main dining rooms, like you don't have to pay a penny more for specialty dining unless you just want to try. We tried Eden. I recommend that. It is expensive. It's like a little over 100 per person, but it's definitely worth it. Maybe it's under 90 a person, something like that. But it was a whole experience, and our server explained every menu because we never lived in that world, but watching it on TV when, these cooking shows, the hostess or whatever you call them, they're the servers, but I guess there's another term. They come out and they explain every course, everything in it, the vibe it's kind of giving, and then recommended, a wine or something to taste with it. It was very much a luxurious experience for us. And let me tell you, the best crab cake I've ever had is at Eden. And I'm sure the crab cakes around the ship are stunning. That's the only one I tried. And I wish I asked for another one now. But it was the best crab cake. Oh my God. I can't explain to you. And that night, I forgot even what we had. I had the lobster casserole, and Brittany had the beef Wellington and petite filet mignon combo. It's like 2 pieces of meat. And anyway, there was other stuff in there. Watch the video. It's in our first video in the series. I highly recommend Eden. That's probably, honestly, the only specialty dining though, unless you're on a really long cruise, unless you want to really try anything. If you're on a budget, their main dining rooms are stunning. We tried all 4 of them. So there is Cosmopolitan, Cyprus, Normandy, and Tuscan. Honestly, they were all great, and they all had things. You can get them from, they don't want you to do this. So the ones we heard from the top chef guy, we did a little tour with our stateroom. That was a perk that came with it, behind the galley. If your dining rooms are on the same floor, they share the same galley, and you can ask for an item from the other one to come over to this room that you're in if you want to try something from over there. You can technically ask for the ones above or below you if you're on the other floors, but it's just a lot more work for your server. They got to go up steps. He asked, if you can, just to try to keep it on the same floor, but it's fine because you're going to go to all, you have plenty of time to try them all. I will say, so they follow a set menu. So each of them share a menu. So your starters and your dinner options, your entree options, those will kind of change throughout the sailing, but they all share that. Celebrity specials, which never change, and they're in all 4 dining rooms. So your salmon, your chicken, and your steak. So if you just want to eat those every night, you can go to any different dining room. They will be the same. And then each specific dining room has their own specials or specialities or dining room exclusives. So for instance, there'll be really pasta, Italian exclusive in Tuscan. Cyprus will have seafood and different exclusives. Cosmopolitan had oxtail and American-inspired cuisine exclusives. Really I ate from the exclusives menu at pretty much every night, minus I think I got shrimp cocktail in addition to the exclusive appetizer, because that's always every night. And then maybe once or twice I got another appetizer, but I always tried the exclusive dessert in every main dining room, because it was, I wanted to try what that exclusive is, and I was blown away. I think my favorite though meal, and you're gonna have to, I don't remember how to say it, the pappardelle, I think pasta, alla veneziana is, I believe, how you say it. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's in the Tuscan restaurant, and there's like no pictures or anything. It's just a basic little thing, and it is like the best pasta I have ever had. It's in like a Asiago cheese sauce. It's kind of like a really elevated carbonara, if you know what that tastes like. And it has little bits of bacon, mushrooms, and chicken in it, and some other, maybe sun-dried tomatoes in there, a little bit of tomatoes. Anything you don't like out of that stuff, they're easy to pick out. They're not like really mixed in there. It's like a little touch of it all. Let me tell you though, the homemade pasta, all of it, I recommend that. If you can only go to one of them, go to that one and get that. We both got that, and we were really happy we did. Other than that, I don't really remember much of like the specific meals. I think if I watched a video of myself, it would trigger a memory, but it was all, I don't remember saying, oh, I don't like anything except for the duck, but that was just my own preference. I still ate it all because it tasted good, like the sauce with it. It's just the consistency of duck I'm not a fan of. The food, even in the buffet, like the simplest thing, it just was, it was knocked out of the park, if that's how you say it. The cheese on there, like they had every cheese you can think of to make your own little cheese board every day, multiple times a day. And I love cheese. Like in the mornings, they had poached egg station, and they would make whatever you want. If you just want poached eggs, or if you want like eggs Benedict, and they would change the bases options daily. Like one day there was salmon or Canadian bacon. Another day there was steak or ham. Then one day there was avocado and tomatoes and something else. Like, now that's the only thing. There wasn't a lot of smoked salmon that I did see, but you could ask for it, and I love that in the mornings. But they had it with one of the days with the eggs Benedict station, or the poached egg station. It was really nice, and I ate a poached egg every morning, maybe two sometimes. And the pastries on board, all the pastries were like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I love the pastries on all cruise ships. They're usually okay. They're usually great, but these were like really French croissants, French pain à chocolat, however you say it. The chocolate croissants, like they had really good danishes every day in the buffet. Then also the restaurants had more elevated versions of that. Like Le Grand Bistro had full on like big croissants you could get at an extra cost. They were like $1 or $2 each. And also like Cafe Al Bacchio, which is the espresso bar or the coffee bar, they had always little tiny sandwiches and little desserts in the case, and they were all included. They were really good. I'm gonna need to turn down this brightness. It's really burning my eyes, guys. Bear with me. But I could go on and on about the food. The food, 10 out of 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 out of 10. Maybe I'm just easy to please, but I was blown away by also the selection. The buffet always had like kind of the same kind of like stations, and there was like a chef recommendations. They had fajitas every day. And then the last sea day, I don't know if they're going to do this for every sailing, but they have an extravaganza buffet, which featured some of the wildest scenes in one of my, well, actually I have the footage on my TikTok still. Basically, they had lobster, they had cocktail shrimp, they had crab claws, they had almost any seafood you can think of. They had it like big quantities of it, and like unlimited lobster tail, basically. Sounds really, really gluttonous, but I was shocked, and I ended up getting 2 plates. I'll put a picture of it here. Brittany doesn't eat seafood, so she waited with me, and I just loaded up her plate and loaded up mine, and I just went and enjoyed it. That was worth the cruise fare alone, in my opinion, because I was shocked. I was really shocked. Some people were complaining about the the taste of the, but honestly, seafood, you're not going to taste much unless you dip it in something besides a little bit of the ocean and maybe a sweetness of the crab or the lobster. It shouldn't really have a taste unless you season it. So these are all like steamed lobsters, and the shrimp. And they have sauces and béarnaise sauce, butter, and different cocktail sauce, lemon and stuff. I enjoyed it. It was so good. It was so good. And I was shocked. That was the last day, so like it just ended with a bang. I hope that it's there for everybody who goes on Celebrity Ascent. I don't know how they can afford to do that, because I'm telling you, they're bringing in trays of steamed lobster. They were chilled at this point though. The lines would get so bad that they started handing out lobster like in the middle of the line with gloves on, just how many you want. Now these were split tails, so they weren't like full lobster tails. So when you get 2, it's really 1. That's how I equated it. That's why I got 8. So I already had 4 lobster tails. Don't judge me. But food was worth the price alone. So like usually on a cruise line, your room is good, the food's bad, or the food is good, the room is old. You don't really get everything. And I got everything on this cruise so far. It was amazing, really amazing. So 10 out of 10 on the food, 10 out of 10. Let's talk about entertainment, because that's a big hot topic I see with celebrities. Some people say, oh, it's kind of boring, it's for older people. And I'm older now myself, I'm in my 40s, and I enjoy the entertainment on Celebrity. I feel like they don't shove it in your face. It's not, even though I love some cruise brands, Carnival, I love them. I don't always want to see people doing a Congo line every 5 steps that I'm trying to go somewhere. It's nice when oh, well, let's go to the Congo line up here on the pool deck, but I don't want to see it all. There's parades. Enough's enough. Like, save it for certain times of the day, not always. That's just my opinion. I might be a little grump sometimes, but I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of the production shows, the actual headliner guests that they had. They had funny comedian, I don't remember his name. We did see their one of the headliners, which was Uptown. It's an actual group on shore, and they do Motown, R&B, soul. They kind of sing your favorites from back in the day, and they also put on a great show that has comedy. They came out during Metallic evening night and sang a medley of like Michael Jackson songs and different other things. Really entertaining people, and their actual production team or entertainment team, so like the dancers, the singers, and of course the light and the audio people, the tech guys, they blew it out of the water. We only saw one of their technical big shows, I believe, called Awaken, and it was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. And I think because the talent was great, but also the theater is the main star of that whole show, and not to say the act or the people in it weren't a part of it, but they were able to play off of the technology and the creativeness of that theater. Whoever designed that theater, they need an award, because every theater should be built like that. It jutted out. I'll show some footage of it, but it like the stage was out. It wasn't just back a regular square. It was just different. So you could see, almost like not 360, but a pretty big sphere of view of the stage. We sat way up high because that theater was packed. I've never seen theaters pack up as much as this one. The shows were so great. We got there about 30 minutes early and we were still in the nosebleeds. The entertainment on Celebrity, at least the new ships, the Edge class, like hands down, some of the best stuff I've seen. Their entertainment staff, so like the trivia people, the fun team, or whatever you would call activity team, maybe I believe. I really like them, and they also have a lot of technology to play off of. They've got the trivia in the club and different places around the ship actually, but the club is a 2-story venue. It's the nightclub, of course, but it also has technology that's not seen anywhere else on the sea. It's got AR projections, so you can play interactive games with, I'll put some clips of it here. Interactive games of yourself, just like playing around and competing against people, and you win little prizes. There's also fun games to play, like trivia with that same stuff. They had a lot of events in there. We also had like really artistic and craft events that we really loved, which we went to a dot painting. Oh, let me grab those. We did some dot painting, which I've never heard of it, but evidently it's a thing. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty cool. It's therapeutic. You just let the dot speak to you. It's very therapeutic, and they give you the tools and the paint and the little disc, and you just do that. And then we also went to a sketch class. We learned, even though I already forgot, how to draw a human hand, posing, like this kind of, and you get to see everything. I don't remember how it was, but it was fun. They had other events that we just didn't have time to squeeze in. They had like I think it's called macrame or a paracord bracelet making class, and you get to make your own bracelet. We missed that. And I think they had other events, activities, really artistic activities, which I've never seen before on a cruise ship, that were included. Normally they're extra if you want to do something like that, but this was all included. And I really enjoyed that. We were actually taught to sketch from an actual artist on board, Paris the artist. And he took his time and answered all the questions Very nice person. And a lot of us were like, oh, what do we do? So he really took the time, and he really turned us all into amateur sketchers. So overall, I think the entertainment, I'm going to say 10 out of 10 for me. Honestly, there was not one thing I went to where I'm like, that was a waste of my time. Like there was some things that I went into expecting not to like. One of them being this, actually. I was like, what the heck is dot painting? But I found myself getting into it, like with the little tools. And honestly, I think somebody took their time and curated all these things. Like I said, I gave it a 10 out of 10. Entertainment, the entertainment staff, the shows, the theater alone gives it a 10 out of 10. Honestly, if you see one show in that theater, you're going to be blown away. The whole screen, there's projection technology, there's lasers, the screen moves, the stage parts of it go up and down. It's crazy in there, and it's included. I mean, come on, guys. You got to go to Vegas to see that stuff. This angle is not the best, I'm realizing, but I'm going to have something here. Let's go to overall ship, like the ship aesthetic. I was blown away by it. At first, I was like, this is going to be weird. It seems too nice, but it was honestly really easy to remember the flow of the ship because of how the venues are. They're so specific. You remember the Eden section is aft, decks 5 basically, but also 4 and 6. And just when you get to an area, you know where you are on the ship. The theater's deck 5 in the front, or 4, front of the ship. And the mid section is 3, 4, and 5. The Grand Plaza where the Martini Bar is. You've got a lot of restaurants, especially restaurants right around there. The main dining rooms are all in the aft of the ship on decks 3 and 4. The casino is on deck 4. You know, I learned where that is pretty quick. But the ship, overall, the design, the flow aspect of it, I was amazed with it. And honestly, one of my favorite things is the destination gateway, which I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, destination gateway. So it's where you disembark and embark the ship when you're in port. Not really when you're getting on in Fort Lauderdale where you start and end the cruise, but like say when you get off in Mexico, when you get off in Bahamas. It's a beautiful area. It's designed unlike any other I've seen. They really made space and it looks very pleasing to the eye. It's clean. It's like really white and lit up. There's signs and there's benches everywhere if you got to wait on people. It's beautiful. I'm going to put some clips of it in. But that alone and the access to get there, the elevators all went there. Well, you had to walk a little bit, some of them. And also if you went down to deck 3 in the main Central Plaza, there's a beautiful stairwell, if you're able to use stairs, of course, that takes you right there. And it's just like, it's intentionally made for that. I really like the way that was designed. It makes a lot of sense to me. It's not like an afterthought. And then they also have like in case you had to port on the other side, you could cross through it. And they had someone like directing traffic because you have to cross through the I-95 of the ship or the main corridor that the crew uses at the bottom. So one of the ports, we had to cross that to get back on the ship through security. And there was someone there actually like doing, okay, guys, come on, which was pretty nice. And that way they weren't forced to have to only dock on this side I was really pleased. And it looks like there's a lot less work for the crew, the security team, because this area is always set up. I went down there early in one morning and they were just there. It wasn't like a freezer or anything else throughout some of the crews, which on some ships I've seen, like they just kind of pick a door. They're okay, move all these pallets over here and this is where we're going to get off today. I was really pleased with that. Really beautiful, really stunning, really impressed. I think somebody took the time and designed these ships. They really not just the visual, just the aesthetic, but the functionality of it, the flow, like the flow pattern of people. I never really felt myself waiting on an elevator at all. And we were shocked by that. We got off an elevator in the morning to get off the ship going back. And normally we have to take the steps and there's just lines of people. We got right up to our room the minute we got on. We hit an elevator and it turned green. They turned green or red. Green means up and red means down on the outside. We never waited, which was bad because we rarely took the steps. I think but like once or twice, and I've never done that. And that's really bad though, actually, for the waistline. But the elevators were like crazy. I've never seen that many available elevators. And maybe just because there's enough space everywhere, people aren't fighting over the elevator or like cutting you off. I was blown away with the overall ship design, the aesthetic, its form and function. That's the best way to describe it. It's beautiful, and I heard other passengers who have sailed on Beyond and other Edge class ships, so the Apex and the Edge, that they said that the Ascent really even fixed even more issues or things like the fourth time is a charm, basically. Even though I'm sure they're all beautiful, it's just they dialed it down even more and got that crowd control and all that stuff extra kind of squared away. Was I not recording? Am I recording? Well, this video is going to be way too long, so we're going to have to cut this off. I don't know what else to say besides go on Celebrity. I mean, I can't really find anything to fault it on, and maybe because it's in its honeymoon phase, because it's a brand new ship, but I cannot find anything in my mind where I'm like, oh, I wish I would have did that better. Everybody, our stateroom steward, our concierge team, anyone we dealt with, our servers, the chefs, the security people are some of the pleasant security people I've witnessed. And honestly, I've been on other cruise ships where I felt like I was almost accused of a crime because I left my hat on or something. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I forgot. You know, I've got all this stuff. They were really nice. And usually you don't see that. There's always kind of this, I'm security kind of vibe. Everybody was just like on their game, and the ship was on her game too. The ship took the seas pretty well because we were right at the tail end of that storm that caused a lot of like cancellations and stuff, and it was pretty rough various times of our sailing, and we never really were like, oh my god, you know, it was fine. I mean, all I can say is I highly recommend Celebrity, and I'm looking forward to trying these our upcoming sailings are on older ships. I will say Celebrity Summit, and actually Celebrity Beyond is another one, but that's not that old. That's the second newest ship after this one. But we're going on Celebrity Summit also later on this year. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for my upcoming sailings. And we're going to Europe, guys, in a few more weeks. I'll be doing this in Europe. We're very excited. We're going to be doing another cruise brand. I don't want to mention it because I'm talking all about Celebrity in this one. Follow me if you like this. After doing my research, which I'm learning to do with my YouTube research, only like 78 to 80%, I have that backwards. 78 to 80% of you who watch this video are not subscribed to my channel. How could you not do that? It's free. Just go ahead and subscribe, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna get better and better. You're gonna see more things, and I hope I inspire you to go out there and make a YouTube video at whatever you do, because you can literally, actually, don't say literally all the time, actually YouTube anything and create something. Whether or not anyone finds it of value, I find a lot of stuff of value, and I'm doing a time capsule for myself at least, if nothing else. But go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of review content, and also cruise content, travel content. I'm going to be doing everything I can as far as airplane traveling to our cruises in Europe. We're doing 2, by the way. But stay tuned and subscribe. Go ahead and like, comment down below if you agree with me about what I talked about with Celebrity Ascent being a 10 out of 10. I think overall it all was a 10 out of 10. The only thing I could find was that duck, and that was my issue. It was still well cooked. It wasn't rare or dry or anything. Honestly, I loved every aspect of the ship. I wish I could live on that cruise ship. I'm not even joking. I would live on that ship happily, even in an inside room. Oh my God. Comment down below. Do you agree? Have you tried Celebrity? Do you love Celebrity? We love Celebrity. We just can't always afford to go on Celebrity. But honestly, it is a royal treat to go on Celebrity. It has awakened us. It has like definitely showed us we're just on the tip of the iceberg.
Communication failure.
No pun, that's not a good, you know what I'm saying, for cruises, but we're just at the surface of the cruise industry, and going to Celebrity has really kind of expanded it that much more. We've been on Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC, and now Celebrity. So we just have this hunger now to try other brands that we've been sleeping on. So don't sleep on Celebrity, honestly. If you have never done it, I recommend you do it. Even the older ships, I read the reviews, they're like 10 out of 10, 8, 9, 10 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching, and go ahead and subscribe if you can, like I said, and comment down below. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye-bye. See you in Europe. Ding. Can't do it. Ding. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you can, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to see more. Bye.